Yeah, I've experimented with a lot of that recently, and I'm come to the conclusion that maybe green screen is maybe a little it's a little overrated, maybe a little bit.
I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like in a big studio, that's different. But
This one dedicated to the lady.
it's just different. Like trying to keep it adjusted at all times.
Come to my top of my heart, girl, me love you. Me not go put no girl above you. Come share your love with me. Love you till eternity. Me know you love it when me kiss you, when me hug you. Me not go kick, me not go dump you. Come share your love with me. Love you till eternity. Me love you, girl, me not go make you cry. Me different than those other guys. Me not go break your heart. Girl, me not go tell you lies. So why you just don't give me the blind? Who are we together? Like Bonnie and Clyde. Till the day that we die, I'm floating high. Cause your love make me high. Let's move the wedding ring will buy. Your love is so fantastic. If you ever leave my heart melt like plastic, then I for two that's more romantic.
Yeah.
So let me take you on a Caribbean trip. I love your cherry lips. I love it when you move and you shake your hips. No other girl can make me feel like this. From the bottom of my heart, girl, me love you. Me not go put no girl above you. Come share your love with me. Love you till eternity. Me know you love it when me kiss you, when me hug you. Me not go kick, me not go dump you. Come share your love with me. Love you till eternity. So hold me in your arms and squeeze me tight. Let's make love all through the night. I'll be there to wipe your tears when you cry, girl. You know me love you, and only God alone me put above you. What a thing when the wedding bell starts to ring and Mrs. Glenn them pronounce you. So I'm hooked, and your love, believe me, I'm hooked. Me not gonna let you go. You teeth me heart like a crook. Now look, I'm hooked. Please believe me, I'm hooked. Me not gonna let you go. You teeth me heart like a crook. From the bottom of my heart, girl, me love you. Me not gonna put no girl above you. Come share your love with me. Love you till eternity. Me know you love it when me kiss you, when me hug you. Me not go kick, me not go dump you. Come share your love with me. Love you till eternity.
What is up, YouTube? It's Toine here for the LiveList Internet Radio Show. That's my dog, by the way. If you're new here, if you're here for music tonight, sorry we don't have a music section tonight, segment tonight. We do have some good, interesting conversation for you though. If you hear a good conversation, and if you've been seeing the advertisements today, then you're in the right place. We have guest Jonathan Brooks here, and he's going to let us know a little bit about Hebrew Israelite, about Rizzy Dunn with his song "Share Your Love." He just shared that love with me today. I really appreciate that so much, man. That submission was great. Now we usually bring you the top 15 list, like I said, the top 15 countdown on this channel, and all of that music submissions that I get during the week and on that Facebook show I was talking about. The links are in the description, by the way. We're not doing that tonight. Today we're happy to bring you a special report. Something that's really been a hot topic lately in the recent years, being a Hebrew Israelite. And if you don't know this channel, this is not your education channel, it's not a music channel, this is whatever kind of channel that you want it to be. This is your channel, the Live List. We're here to bring you content that you're going to like. So you give me feedback. Let me know what you want to hear on this channel. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and introduce Jonathan Brooks. Go ahead and say something, Jonathan.
Hey, peace and blessings to everybody. I hope everybody's having a blessed evening tonight.
All right, so let's not waste any more time, man. I really want to know and ask the question: what is an Hebrew Israelite?
All right. Well, first of all, let me give all praise and honor to the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son Jesus Christ, or Yahshua HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai, all the Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, you know, them being the patriarchs. Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, had 12 sons, descendants, Jacob, you know. And the prophecies of the Bible, get into all the curses and blessings and things like that that were foretold that was going to happen with a particular set of people. And from doing studies and just looking at how the world is turning today, a group of people still alive today fit those narratives, and for the most part it's the so-called Negro people of the world today that mainly identify things listed in the Bible. So for the most part, you got mostly Negroes who are identifying as the seed, not the spiritual seed, but the actual physical seed of Jacob or Israel.
So basically, what you're saying is, and from what I've been reading and understanding is basically it's a Hebrew Israelites claim that the direct lineage from the line of Judah, or these Israelite tribes, you can claim direct descended. Now, I was speaking with another young gentleman earlier today. I don't know if you know him or not. Going back, well, you know, and my response to that was, well, so can the Ethiopians. You know, if you say it like that, because the Ethiopians, as we know, have a direct lineage from King Menelik the first, going Solomon's son, King Solomon's son, according to legend, according to the Bible, if I'm not mistaken. The Bible doesn't say it explicitly, but there is direct reference in Islam in the text of the time about the Queen of Saba or Sheba, or I can't remember her real name, but that was more of her title, the Queen of Sheba. That wasn't her name, but there was much lore and much text about this union between them and the offspring of it being Menelik the First, and where the Rastafarians get their you know, Haile Selassie, basically being the direct descendant of this Menelik. So does that kind of tie in? Like, is that, you know, us being, you know, Afro-Asiatic people, even here in the Americas, does that kind of tie into it? Like, are you saying that only black people can be Hebrew Israelites?
No, and I say no because when the kingdom fell, well, when Jerusalem was sacked around 70 A.D., he asked for a big dispersion where a bunch of Hebrew Israelites were carted off into captivity, a bunch escaped, and many of our ancestors fled deep into the region of what we now know as Africa, and we kept pushing farther and farther west to around West Africa or Ghana and Nigeria, all those places. Mm-hmm. It's foretold that his people, God, will be scattered throughout all nations. So Ethiopians, I mean, you got a heavy tribe of Ethiopians that do have strong claims of being Hebrews. You know, they still practice Torah. They may have some heavy Judaism, and what I mean by Judaism is the Edomite. What's the word I'm looking for? The Zionist religion locked in with their faith, but you got Hebrews scattered all around the world. Well, I shouldn't say Hebrews, because I should say Israelites. You got Israelites scattered all around the world, which is only Bible prophecy. So if anyone say like, well, Ethiopians, I would say, well, true, you know, or people over in Asia, I would say, well, okay, true. Mm-hmm. You know, but it sort of gets back down to when we deal with the color, because oftentimes color does come up. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's not a color thing, but in all actuality, to a certain extent, it sort of is a color thing, because if you want to identify certain people, you got to find out the characteristics of those people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So going back to ancient Egyptians, you know, which were a great civilization, they were a nation of black people, you know. All the kids of Ham, nations of black people. And you know, and then you get...
Now, now hold that thought just 1 second. We're gonna get to Egypt because that's an entrance and segue into the military. And I was gonna think, and we're gonna play a song really quickly. I got this submission earlier today from a friend of mine, Toine. This one is, I really like this one. You guys take a listen to this song. Me and my friend are gonna get into this next topic. This is Toine featuring Lyrical Discussion, the clean version, guys. Now check this out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We ain't gotta rush it, baby. I just wanna take my time with you. Yeah, yeah. We ain't gotta rush it, baby. Read your body into the discussion, baby. By the end of the night, we gon' be baby. Let me play with that like a trumpet, baby. Baby girl, I'm so into you. Baby, think about you and the things you do. Baby, let me take my time with you, baby. If you think you ready, let me show you, baby. Later. We ain't gotta rush it, baby. Let me rub your body with this lotion, baby. Picture perfect, let me frame and hold you, baby. Paint a picture, can I come and stroke it, baby? If we can take it slow, just keep it on the low. Nobody has to know, put your number in my phone. Let me know when you alone. Baby, we can get around, girl. Mami, ven aquí, yo quiero your body. Tu cuerpo next to me, tiempo sexy me. Pero vamos tomar los tiempos. Let's take it slow. Yo quiero tu cuerpo a mi lado, viento. Despacio, let's take it slow. We ain't gotta rush it, baby. Read your body into the discussion, baby. By the end of the night, we gon' be baby. Let me play with it like a trumpet, baby. Baby girl, I'm so into you. Baby, think about you and the things you do. Baby, let me take my time with you, baby. If you think you ready, let me show you, baby. Later.
Baby, what's your name? Tell me your sign. Stars are aligned. You leave with me tonight.
All right, thank you so much, guys, for hanging in there with us. Again, that was that was HGH Lyrical featuring Toine. You can check her out on any platform that you want to. Really great music. I didn't play the whole song. I really don't have the dynamic to do that here tonight. I really wanted to get back into this conversation with my guest, Jonathan. Now, we have a conversation here going, and we were asking each other, you know, being both military veterans, and I don't know if you know that about me, but I have it about him up on the screen. So we were having the conversation of, you know, as when he spoke about Egypt and going overseas and the heritage there and the heritage of melanated people before the diaspora, and how much it can speak to a person. I was thinking about the military and going over to places like that and then coming back and having a different perspective on life, having a different perspective on, and not even being in the military, but just being a person and growing and leaving a place, leaving your hometown, getting better at something and making it a passion of yours. And people don't understand that all the time, and whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's your job. But speak about it a little bit, Jonathan, your experience coming back to a world that, you know, you grew up in, but it's not quite the same.
Well, you know, I joined the Army fresh out of high school at 17, and I immediately chose to go overseas to Europe. I spent most of my military career over in Germany, bounced around. Came back here to the States for a chance to support a few times to Iraq and a couple of peacekeeping missions in Romania and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You definitely get a greater sense of the world, in which I tell people today, bigger than your area code, than your zip code even or whatnot. Get out here and experience life and see what's really going on in this world.
Yeah.
The for culture, you know, I've gone to some places that have never really had any dealings with so-called African American people or black people, and when they see you, you know, sometimes you get snares, but for the majority of the time, I got a real warm embrace from people, and most people have always told me, like, hey, do you know who you are?
Yeah.
You're the people of the book, you know, you were once a great nation or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, and from America, you know, they water down our culture so much, or they give us our culture in the time frame of like the 1600s. So the only thing we know of really is slave boats, MLK, Malcolm X, music and dancing, and, you know, the W.E.B. Du Bois and Frederick Douglass, you know, stuff like that. But what about the stuff from way before that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, when you experience the world on the global stage like that, still the military, which is a great avenue to experience stuff like that, and when you come back home when you come back inside of a block when you've been outside of the box, it's like you were sort of like the black sheep because your views have evolved so much, and you so much on a grander scale that people who have not been able to experience that, they sometimes just can't get with it. And then, not to mention, if you're a scholar and you travel the world and, you know, you get higher education and you bring it back to where you're from, you know, some people, they just get with it, even though you've been there and experienced things firsthand. You got the proof, you got all the, you know what I'm saying, you done took the shrapnel, you got all the wounds, you know what you're talking about. But, you know, it's just something that I think is going to have to develop with time as we progressing more and more and more into this information age, and even way past it. You know, knowledge is increasing in these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about that all the time. You know, oh, these kids, they're so smart. They can pick up an iPad and can do anything. They can write already before they hit preschool. You know, these kids. And I see, you know, Nino had something to say there. Have y'all heard of pantheism? And yes, Nino, I have. That's actually close to what my my level of understanding of how the universe works. Pantheism kind of hits it on the head, but I would not say I'm a pantheist. I would say I'm a Muslim. I would say I submit to the will of Allah, the will of God, the will of Jehovah, of Yahweh, of whatever you want to call him. You know, whatever his name is that day. You know, whatever you might want to call him the Great Kali. You might want to call him the Kali Yuga. You might want to call him the Chilokwadiwan. You know, down in, you know, whatever you want to call him. I submit to that great spirit, that great, even, what can we call it, a spirit? Do we know what it is? All we know is we are antenna. Like this, if the planet were a cell, we would be at the trees and the leaves, and us, we would be its more advanced antenna, kind of like branches on a tree. I feel that's how the world works. That's how the universe works. And we're all just experiencing it all together at the same time. I don't know. What do you think about? Before we get into this, let's get into another song before we get too deep on that one. We're gonna get Jonathan back on here with his thoughts on what I just said. Being a religious person, I don't know if would you say you're a religious person?
I'm a person that believes in good religion, pure religion. Okay. Well, I can feel I got a rebuke coming. We're gonna get to another song. And we're gonna get right. And we're gonna. This one I got today as well. You're really gonna like this one. It's called Fireworks. I really liked it. I think you will too.
July or New Year's night, like a sparkler to you, or like a bomb, you be blowing my mind. I'm bursting inside. The stars seem to collide when you.
Y'all sound off. Let me know what y'all think about fireworks.
If they subscribe to it, hey man, do what you do. You know, just don't come in my house trying to kill and rob me for stuff and try to take my wife. We all good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I respect people, man.
Now, we were just talking about on the break, by the way, that was Fireworks, a song submitted to me by a good friend of mine, Stephanie Marie today. I don't know what the name of the artist. Maybe she can leave it in the comments. Somebody can. Really dope song. Now, we were talking about, well, I'm just going to let Jonathan just say a little bit of what he just said about what I just said.
Say again?
I just said I'm just going to let you go ahead and say a little bit about what you just said about what I just said.
Oh, in regards to, you said that you would hold fast to being like a Muslim? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what we pretty much talked about a little bit about is tolerance. And you and myself, we had a dialogue a while back. Mm-hmm. And I was telling you that my tolerance has grown more for people that have different beliefs than I do. And, you know, and I was saying, like, if we have a biblical conversation, biblical meaning anything from Genesis to Revelation, then that's more of my field. I'm going to give you answer and dialogue based on Genesis to Revelation. But now if someone brings an outside source in, like the Quran or something like that, kind of handicap me because I don't subscribe to that book. I don't believe in that faith or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know? But at the same time, you're still a human being. I would still respect you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that same party subscribes to a different belief, now start talking about Bible things and they bring it to my attention, then of course I'm going to jump into it and give answers based on the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't, and here's what I believe, I can't dissect the Bible using the Quran. You know what I'm saying? I have to use the Bible to dissect the Bible. I have to stay within my book because now when I switch books, it causes all kinds of confusion, and now trying to make things together. But I'm a firm believer in these 66 books over here.
So Hebrew Israelites, they only subscribe to one book. That's the Bible. They don't read any other book. They don't, even if there's a text, you know, that even the Bible speaks of. They're just like, yeah, well, that's a nice book, but that's not my authority. Y'all only take authority in the Bible, correct?
Well, for the most part, yeah. And I say the most part because you have different sects of Hebrew Israelites. That's why early when you said you spoke to a brother, Jones Judah, his religion, it's a bloodline. Well, that's true. Just like, for lack of a better metaphor or whatnot, you got African Americans, but we all don't believe the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So Hebrew Israelites, you have some who only believe in the first 5 books. You have some that believe in the Old Testament as a whole. You have some who only believe in the New Testament. You have some who reject Christ. You have some that don't reject Christ. You know what I'm saying? So you have, for the most part, most Hebrew Israelites, I would say, and similar with the circle that I deal with, we subscribe to the 66 books, Genesis to Revelation. You have some that deal with the Apocrypha. You have some brothers and sisters that jump off into Book of Enoch and Jasher and Jubilee, you know, stuff like that. Apocalypse of, I think of Paul or something like that. All these crazy books or whatnot. But
now, I've definitely heard and read some of those books. I'm not going to get all into that on this show, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of wide open out there, man, as far as what people believe. But the one thing that we do believe is that we are the people of the book.
So the main belief is that that African people in particular are the people of promise in the Bible. Are the people that match all these different floods and catastrophes and tribulations and triumphs. Are you saying it's African melanated people? Is that what you're saying?
Not all Africans, because Africa is a big continent and it holds several tens of countries. So I have to say it depends on which African nation, which black nation, because that's one gripe that I have. When people say all black people, well, I answer to that. All black people aren't the same.
That's very true. That's extremely true.
You know what I'm saying? So which black people are you talking about? And but we believe that we descend from Israel. Israel is Northeast Africa. So yeah, we are technically Africans. We all come from the same continent, but we're just a different nation of people that have a different belief system.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it all branched off from the same tree, like I said, like I was talking about. Anyway, we're not going to get... What I really wanted to switch the focus back to now was, now the topic, we can get back to a little bit more of that, and we definitely want to. We definitely want to understand more, because we're just digging the surface, I believe. But we definitely want to start talking a little bit about, what's her name, Peppermint Patty, or Corner Store Caroline, or something like that. Have you heard about this situation?
Yeah, I saw that video.
Okay, all right. Well, let's play a quick song really quickly, and then we're gonna come talk about this situation a little bit more when we come back. You guys stay tuned. Now this one is one of our featured artists of the week. You're really gonna like this one. I played this one for just about everybody this week. This one is Cash the Artist. What's the name of the song? It's a featured song of the week, and I don't even know the name of it. But the name of it is Cash the Artist. Broke. I can't say that on YouTube. They'll take this video down. But you get the gist.
I don't need to drink no more, but tonight I need a fill. Been struggling on the low, when I had enough of it, I quit it. Gotta get my money right, gotta get my fucking bread up, but no, gotta get it right. Gotta get my fucking money right, gotta get my fucking bread up, but no, gotta get it right. It ain't no fun now, being a broke bitch. Can't get my nails done, because I got a better rent, so gotta get my fucking bread up, but no, gotta get it right. Gotta get my fucking money right, gotta get my fucking bread up, but no, gotta get it right. Baby, tonight I'm leaving, that doesn't mean that I don't care. I gotta go, baby. Gotta get to the dough, gotta get to the guap, gotta get to this money, can't stop, won't wanna stop. Be drowning in dividends, pointing at haters like her and him, playing on Migos like 10 plus 10, yeah, I'm focused now, I need about 20 M's, I wanna be able to stay my roads, I don't wanna spend it, no, I wanna hold it right now, need it right now. 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 Gotta get my fucking money right. Gotta get my fucking bread up, but no, gotta get it right. Gotta get my fucking money right. Gotta get my fucking bread up, but no, gotta get it right. Gotta get my fucking money right. Gotta get my fucking bread up, but no, gotta get it right. Gotta get my fucking money right. Gotta get my fucking bread up, and no, gotta get it right. Pray for me, baby. Pray for me. I ain't home yet, it's 12:30. Out here switching lanes, out here getting paper by any means. I know that you want to lay next to me, but here's the thing, I need a green, I need a scheme. I've been coming home late nights, cause the bag's always on my mind. Counting fast, gotta get it right. Wanna live lavish, gotta be savage. Pray for me, cause I need. Pray for me right now. Pray for me right now.
Cash the Artist with her song Broke. Sorry, that was a little Cash the Artist with her song Broke. I can't say the whole thing because we'll get in trouble on YouTube. Big time for that. But we want to get back into a little conversation we were having about Corner Store Caroline. Have you heard about this one, guys? You know, we had the lady at her college not too long ago having the girl call the police on her. A guy, the guys at Starbucks, Barbecue Becky. We remember her, Miss Schultz, who was a college professor. Now we have the retired, looks like, cop. The video just came out a couple days ago. I'm sure you've seen it, about not the young lady, the lady that swore this kid, you know, brushed against her in the coming out of the store or something. When actuality, what really happened was that the video has shown that the boy's book bag brushed against the lady, and she just went crazy. Jonathan, what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's crazy, man. I can't think of a term to really label it under. I'm just gonna keep it real and just say crazy.
Like, why do people do that? Like, that's my question. Like, why? What do white women in particular get out of calling the police? What pleasure do they get out of? Is it something that's cultural? Is it something that's like, oh, I'm just having a bad day today, so you know what? I'm gonna make your day worse. Or, you know, the fact, or maybe it's a babying kind of mentality that white women have had. Or maybe well, we've got to protect our sweet petunia, you know, and you know, now they feel that anything that happens to them, and I'm not, you know, speaking bad on the culture or anything, I'm just, you know, giving you my thoughts of what, these are some hot takes here. You're going to get hot takes on this channel. Now, is that something that you think is possible? Like, how dare this black woman's little Negro child, you know, brush up against me? You know, I'm a white woman, you know, pretty much. Like, what do you think about that?
I think it stems from a system of superiority and entitlement. Someone on the outside looking in could be, well, maybe she had a bad day and maybe just the straw that broke her hump, you know what I'm saying, trying to give an excuse. But you've seen this too many times happening with our light-skinned brothers and sisters perpetrating falsehoods on our brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying. And, it happens too often for, you know, just to sit back and just brush it off. There is an issue, you know what I'm saying, from the Barbecue Becky to the even who walked in the brother's crib and shot him. You know what I'm saying? Where's the outrage really? Like, that whole story is like died down now. I don't know if you saw this other video. There's another white lady, I say Gentile, another Gentile lady into the apartment complex, wanted to know if he lived there, and she followed him all the way to his room. He was like, "This is a nice apartment complex, and I never seen you before." And he had his keys in his hand. Yeah,
I definitely just saw that. What was it, last night or the night before last? The lady just was like, "So what are you doing here? I want to know who you're coming to see." Like, just to the point, like you're black, you can't live here, you can't possibly afford a place here. What are you doing here? It was, and I thought that mentality was old and dated and stereotypical, and you don't see white people acting like that anymore. But has it become more prevalent now, or is it just that we can film it now? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Say that. I was just about to say those exact same things. Is it become more prevalent, or is it the fact that now we have technology right on hand to record this stuff and broadcast it to the whole world? Because I really believe stuff like this has been going on forever, and just the age of social media and everything like that, everybody's just more open to it now, like it's all mainstream. Notice who this stuff happens to mostly. You know what I'm saying? What nation of people does this stuff happen to?
And I think that kind of are you tying that back to the Hebrew Israelite, or is that what you're doing right now?
Ding, 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 ding.
That is a good segue. That is a good. That is interesting. You know, that is extremely interesting. And me being a guy that's not a really religious guy, and I put that out there. You know, I'm more of knowledge-based guy, I'm more of a instinct-based guy. I do believe that there is something more. I do believe that we can put a name on it. That we can, I don't believe that we can. I don't believe that we can name it. I believe that we can put a name on it. Does that make sense? But I believe that it, he, she, or us, or we is there, and I don't necessarily believe in prophecy, and a lot of these stories that we get from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I mean sometimes even 10,000 years ago, they become dated in the how can I say this? In the era of dispensation, based on because if you would tell these stories if you were telling stories to what you would call, what scientists would call a caveman, or whatever you would call some of the earliest humans, if you were telling this story to them, you would have to tell it with different characters, different sounds, different everything. The story would not be the same as if you were to tell it now. And if you were to tell that same story now, it would probably sound so archaic that you would, that's so simplistic. How could you believe something like that? You know what I mean? There's no flying people. You know what? There's no light coming out of the sky. What do you mean? I mean, so what do you think about it? Well, I mean, what were your thoughts on that?
But when it comes to when we deal with prophecy, I believe in prophecy. There's no way I could explain a prophecy given in Isaiah to a caveman, because it's not prophesied for it to happen during that caveman's time. Man, you know what I'm saying? It would have to apply to the people who it's supposed to apply to. And looking at today's world and seeing the culture and the scope of everything, and if one believes in prophecy, I don't know how you could read it and claim to believe it and not understand, like, whoa, this doesn't, this is happening to, excuse me, it's happening to this particular group of people. They did all this stuff. Why is no one really talking about it? Or why the fact that when these people are now starting to talk about it, now everybody wants to shun them, or, ooh, that's not it, you guys are liars, stuff like that.
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was figuring out how I was going to close that out, but I think that was it.
Yeah, that was perfect, yeah. I'm going to get to another song really quickly. What I want you guys to do out there, if you're listening, go ahead and put it on the wall. I'm going to put the wall back up. Let me know what beliefs you have. If you don't have beliefs, just put, hey, I don't believe anything. Let us know. There's no judgment zone. I'll just admire it and say, hey, I know what that is. I know what that is. Do me a favor, comment that, and let's see if we can get this video up to 10 likes, 5 likes. Hey, and if you like what you see in here, subscribe, man. We're always here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play this song for you. I really like this one. I heard this one just today. I don't know the name of the artist, but it's a really dope song. It's called You Baby. And you're going to like it too.
Kids in there going
You
crazy.
stay all my life, all day. I like the way you play that guitar for me. Let's play together. Love me so liberally. You ain't no typical lover. Don't take me literally. It's metaphysical, chemical love. Don't go away, baby. Come in, love me, oh. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. God knows I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. God knows I love you, baby. Hold me in your arms, baby. Touch me the way, the same way you strum those strings. I get a feeling of happiness when we're together. No place I'd rather be. Wish we could have this forever. Call it your for. Too good to ignore. I'd rather be with you. Passion approach. You got me open. Let's paint a picture. Tell me so liberally. You ain't no typical lover. Don't take me literally. It's It's metaphysical, chemical love. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. God knows I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. God knows I love you, baby. Take me to a place of ecstasy, and I love the way you put your love all over me. Let your colors blend with mine. We can create a love divine. And I'm here, I'll carry on your legacy. Boy, you know I love you, baby. I love you, baby. You know I love you, I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. God knows I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. God knows I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. You know I love you, baby. God knows I love you, baby.
And we're back, and we're going in with our final segment. We're going in with our final segment. We're going to wind it down for tonight. I want to ask a couple questions here. Last couple questions for the night for our special guest, Jonathan Brooks. Now, I wanted to ask you about this this Barbecue Betty thing, about this Corner Store Caroline thing. Now, do you think? Now, I'm just wondering. Now, some of these people actually do think the police are their personal goon squad. The police were started as a slave-catching institution. The police were funded by the KKK, and the KKK were Democrats up until 1950. I'm just throwing some facts out there. Just let everybody know. Now, with that being said, do you think that this tension, this feeling that we're getting from white people post Reconstruction, post Jim Crow, post Code Noir, is a kind of a fear of old world, Islamic State? Not necessarily Islamic State. Don't let me say that. But an old school, melanated, mostly controlled world landmass. And they're afraid of that and against it at all costs?
I think what's going on is, and this is me speaking from a biblical perspective, the world is given over into the hand of the Gentiles, so-called white people. Out of Noah's 3 sons, everybody has had their turn to rule this world. Black nations have ruled. Now it's white nations' turn to rule this world. And I think what's going on is people are tired of all the racism and stuff like that. So what they're trying to do is push for equality inside of a system that wasn't really designed for certain people to be equal in. You know what I'm saying? Now, we get some breakthroughs here and there or whatnot, but you still have some of those people that still want to subscribe to the old way of doing things. We got some of our brothers and sisters in these offices who are pushing for change, and which is good because at the end of the day, we're all human. You know what I'm saying? We're all human, and no one should be treated different. You know what I'm saying? Based on their skin color. You know what I'm saying? No one should be treated different. Treat people with the same level of respect that you want to be treated with. You know what I'm saying? And the issue with these cops and stuff like that, I believe in protective, sir. I believe these powers were set up by the Most High to keep order. Because if not, we'd be out here crazy as hell, man. Freaking, but there comes a level of responsibility with that power. There's a scripture that talks about servant not bearing the sword on his side for no reason. He don't have that thing on his side for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But some people take that power and they abuse it. Now, what better thing to do than to call in false accusations on the people who the system is set up discriminately against? You're already in control. Only thing they need is a reason. That's all they need is a reason to execute their purpose.
So you're saying that there is a system at work here, that there is a plan, and there is they used to call it BAMSIS in the military: begin the planning, arrange the reconnaissance, make the reconnaissance, complete the planning, issue the orders, and supervise. So you're basically saying that that is happening against melanated people?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that, and if we were to go deeper scripturally, we could point those things out and prove it scripturally. But I do believe that, and not only, and the system is so bad. I wouldn't even say not only for melanated people, but for people who don't fit the system's agenda. Because you have some white people who are just as bad off as our colored brothers and sisters. Even our Latin brothers and sisters here. You got some people from their descent who are just as bad. It may not be as covered as much, but I've come in contact with white people, Asian people, Latin people. You know what I'm saying? And they have stories, and I'm like, man, we ain't the only ones that are experiencing some type of discrimination here.
Yeah.
Man. But so I would.
So do you think it's against all melanated people, whether it be the lightest melanated people, the Cuban, or like a Cuban or a Puerto Rican who are melanated, by the way, even though they want to fool themselves? Look at just what happened. Look at what just happened in Puerto Rico with the hurricane. Look at what just happened in Cuba. After Obama went down there and made all those concessions and made such strides with them. Trump just pretty much sticks his finger up. Those S-hole countries, this and that. I'm sure they were included. So let's not, get hoity-toity. Let's all work together, and not against or for one thing or another. Not to say black people should be against white people or white people should be against other white people who are racist. What we need to do is find a way to recognize that it's happening and have the conversation about it, and not be so afraid. Not be so. Oh, I'm gonna step on toes. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. Fuck you're uncomfortable. I'm sorry for the language, but. It's people dying out here. It's literally people getting killed in the streets every day. Little kids getting the cops called on them because of book bags being pushed up against them. And you don't want to have the conversation?
Right.
Like what are you doing? What are you doing?
Exactly.
But before I go on another rant, I want to get to you asked another question earlier. Well, I asked you a question earlier. What do Hebrew Israelites want? And I think that's a great way to end the show. What is it that Hebrew Israelites want? You have the floor. You go for it.
All right. What do Hebrew Israelites want? And this is from my perspective of being a so-called Hebrew Israelite. I really just describe to being an Israelite who is a Christian. But it's to one day become a part of the God family. To rule this earth with God, which can only be obtained by being obedient to His commandments, which was given to us, what I'm saying, as well as believing in His Son, which allows justification for us to the Father, what I'm saying. We want a lot of our sisters and brothers to come out of false worship, because it's the main reason as to why we get in our heads whooped, because we obey the things that our power, our God told us to do. And to lay down all falsehood and to reclaim our heritage, keep the commandments, love our God with all our heart, mind, and soul, and to love our neighbor as ourselves, man. Salvation for all people. I don't care if you're white, black, yellow, pink, purple, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You want to get down with the team, fear God, keep His commandments, believe in His Son, and we can rock, man.
You heard it here first. If you want to be down with Jonathan's team, no, I'm not kidding. That's his belief, and I joke, I jest, but I never smash on anybody's beliefs, man. Jonathan, I really appreciate you so much for being here tonight. You have no idea.
No doubt, man. Peace and blessings to you, man. Prosper, let you put your hand on.
Same to you, man. Hey, come back anytime. Anytime you're welcome. We're going to let Jonathan go. The phone lines are open after that. If anybody has any comments, any shout-outs, anything like that. Jonathan, thank you so much. I'm going to put a song on, and then I'm going to leave the phone lines open. If nobody gives us a call, then that's it for us. Thanks, Jonathan, so much.
Peace.
Peace. All right, now I'm going to put on a little song that I heard earlier today, and I know that you guys are going to love this one because I love it. This one's called Nothing But You. Explicit. It's explicit now. Just letting you know. It's by a guy named Dion Price, and I really cared for this one, so I'm sure you will too. The phone lines are open, 205-764-1346. Call in, let us know your comments, your thoughts. Make sure to comment, you know, what religion are you guys? What beliefs do you have? Do you believe in the flying spaghetti monster? Do you believe in Armageddon is going to happen tomorrow? Do you... Let us know in the comments. Call in, let us know. Right now you're listening to Nothing But You by Dion Price. Very nice song.
Like you don't know your worth. Let me be the lighter, I'ma take you higher. Oh, and you don't ask for much. It's like you just need to be touched. Hands around your neck, booty on my lap. Oh, baby, I don't want nobody but you. My body on you, all I wanna do. Baby, I don't want nobody but you, nobody on you. All I wanna do, baby, turn the lights down now, yeah, and go and turn that thing right round. The word around the town is you don't let nobody hit it. Now that I got a chance, won't let you out of my hands. Oh,
You have to play one more song. This Dino White. Let me get it.
Get what you deserve. It's like you don't know your worth. Let me be the lighter, I'ma take you higher. Oh, and you don't ask for much. It's like you just need to be touched. Hands around your neck, booty on my lap. Oh.
I don't have it. Sorry about that, Dino. But we will play it as soon as you send it over to us. MP3 format. We love it. You guys have a great night. Join us next time on the live list. We're going to have dope content like this more often, way more often. Great music from all over the world. Keep it locked to the live list, guys. We really appreciate you for showing up.